K47 here today with the East Coast premier YouTube channel, Boardthroughthepain. And I wanted to share with you guys my reason for starting this channel in the first place, which is my top 10 favorite tips for boarding on a budget. And now we time warped over here to Play It Again Sports with my first and number one tip is you gotta get over this fad of having to have the new goods every year. Not only is it really bad for the planet and a complete waste, but it's also super hard on your wallet. If you're just willing to purchase old stock or not as popular name brand products, you'll be amazed how much money you'll save. In this particular instance, since we don't have any type of consignment shops around here and most of the ski shops don't have used goods, this is about my only option. Which brings me to my number 2 point, used goods. If you can find stuff that's still in reasonably good shape, but you gotta really be careful. Stuff that's heavily used won't be waterproof. So let's go inside. And right away they got a bunch of good stuff with toe caps. That's the first thing you want to look for is when you're looking for used gear, is stuff that's kind of outdated but not completely. So toe caps and sizing is going to be very important. And after that you're going to want to look for condition, such as that. But otherwise these aren't bad. And what have we here? Check out the old school heel hammocks. Sweet. So if I was shopping for myself, this is probably what I would end up going with. I know 230 bucks sounds like a lot, but that's actually really not bad, considering these cartels were high-end technology back in the day. So you figure if you use this, I don't know, 5 to 10 times in a season, it's easily paid for itself. And then if I was shopping for boots for myself, that's another fun one. You really want to make sure that one, it fits your foot well, which I'll throw a link to Andreas' video because he covered all the details in that. But the main thing you want to look for in used boots is the wear on the tread, the cuff, and where the bindings strap over the front, because all that will get seriously torn up quick. And if you're dealing with any kind of laces system, make sure that the eye holes are all still in good shape and there's no fraying or tearing. This is reasonable for a solid pair of boots. To be completely honest, this is one of my favorite reasons why I go to consignment shops, because the used goods, they have plenty of wiggle room for the prices, and that allows you to haggle a little bit. However, if you guys live out west, Goodwills and other consignment shops, just bargain places, are excellent. Here on the East Coast, unfortunately, I'm close enough to the Mason-Dixon line, I don't have a large selection. Even though that last tip really was geared more for you new riders out there, I do not want to get blamed for your Jerry friends who show up in either a used helmet or a used base layer. The used helmet is just unsafe, and the used base layer is freaking gross. Speaking of base layers, that brings me to my third tip, which is crossover gear works great in this sport. If you have any rain gear or mountaineering gear, hiking gear, especially base layers, mid layers, and socks, you'd be amazed at how well some of those will work in this sport. I love my ninja suit, but I'm equally as happy in my knockoff Under Armour base layers and accessories too. Tip number 4, even though you can't see my hand through my mitt, is get in on the early bird specials. In the case of a season pass, if you're going to be going more than 10 times a year, then really look into it in the early spring. For example, Snowshoe has a $350 early bird special. That's an over $200 savings compared to their average season pass. Even if you're not going to be out that often, most mountains offer a triple day pass or even a single day pass. You can save up to 50% if you book well in advance. Thanks, babe. Oh yeah, and tip number 5, always remember to pack a lunch. Drinks, munchies, etc. Nobody wants to pay $25 for an overpriced cheeseburger at the mountain. And I'm always hungry, so I tend to even hit up a fast food place on my way to the mountain too. So you may have noticed my owner Burton coat in the last frame. However, I really love this thing, and as far as I'm concerned, they were ahead of their time with using recycled material in the manufacturing of their goods. Believe it or not, this coat is still 100% waterproof. How I keep it that way is tip number 6. I take care of my equipment, and you can too. Simply clean it up after each use, and in this case, you need to wash your soft goods with the proper soap that actually helps with the water repellency. In my case, I'm using the Tech Wash, but there are many different types out there, and you will have to pick which one is best for your particular equipment. And tip number 7 is tune your own gear. There are enough videos out there on the internet, and the tools are cheap enough. There's really no excuse for you guys not to get up and tune your own gear and save yourself a couple bucks. Besides saving a few dollars, tuning your own gear is also better for your board. If you bass grind it or machine tune it more than once a season, you're going to wear it out faster than you need to. How's the scraper working out for you?
The scrapers you made working really well, buddy.
Awesome. Tip number 8, grab your girlfriend and some homies and carpool to the mountain. That'll split up the gas cost a little bit. And tip number 9 is a classic one out of the Ski Bum book. That is crash on a homie's sofa or lives close to the mountain. Always offer them a few bucks, because whatever you give them is going to be cheaper than a hotel room.
Ah, you guys again. Why do you keep waking me up? Oh yeah, that's right. I'm trying to show you how to pinch a penny. If you're really hardcore, alternatively, you can sleep in your vehicle like Casey Willax. That guy is super tough. But a piece of advice, this sleeping bag's rated for -30, and I recommend if you're going to do that, you go out and get yourself one of those too. Or you get yourself a heater for the vehicle, because that goes a real long way.
Tip number 10, if you don't have the budget to get to a real resort, build your own rad run at home. Stay tuned for my new series, How to Build Your Own Rad Runs, coming soon. Now here's a clip from when I first sized up this run, because if I showed you what I have now, it'd spoil all my features. Well, that's all I got for you folks now, but if you have more new ideas or ways to improve mine, please comment below and let us know what you're thinking. While you're down there, smash that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. For those of you who already have, thank you so much, I appreciate it, and spread the word about the new channel to Board on a Budget. But no matter what level of poverty you're living in, your best escape's gonna be to board through the pain!